The coxswains have their hands up, indicating to the umpire that they are not yet straight and ready. Once the coxswains put their hands down, we anticipate a quick start from the umpire.
Attention! Go!
And a quick start it was. Both of these crews winding into action. Leander Club on the left of your screen, Oxford Brookes University A on the right.
Real aggressive start there from both crews. It's a noisy, it's a loud boat. It's the sprint event of this regatta, and these crews are taking it off towards the end of the island. They'll be pushing on as hard as they can. They'll reach rates of in excess of 45, 46, maybe even touch the 50s, and then they'll look to settle down into some high pace. And it looks like it's a really level start there from both crews. Brookes crew on this near side in their pre-colours with their big spoon oars will be driving on. As you can see there, Jamie Copas in the bow, recently made the transition from trying to be a GB athlete, was born in Chicago, is now trying to compete with the US team in the lightweight men's single scull at Lucerne next weekend.
And a slight advantage here to Leander Club, perhaps with their rate up looking just a little bit punchier in this early stage. Oxford Brookes has really sort of lengthened out quite early in this section of the race, Mo.
Yeah, they have. They've started their transition early, but they look incredibly strong and dominant. They look really nice around the back end. All of the Brookes crews this week have looked impressively strong, and it will be really interesting to see some of these athletes. 3 of these athletes won last year in the Temple, so they're making that jump up from the student event into the intermediate club event, which is, of course, the Ladies' Challenge Plate.
So both crews starting to stride out here. These wind conditions have been really swirly and pretty tricky. If it is a head breeze, it's going to be interesting to see technically how these crews stack up, because it is going to require them to start to really lean into it and start to push off the back end of the boat rather than cutting off those finishes.
It looks like we're in for a great race here, Sarah. It looks like both crews are really level. As you can see, this beautiful shot of the geese just coming across the water, another added challenge to this regatta. And the wind, as you can see, the flags in the background are pushing across, but the coxes are doing a great job. William and Jack are steering their crews. There's a small little bit of adjustment there by Jack as he's trying to get maybe closer to the boom. So it's a wonderful shot as we're coming up to Forley here. You can see both crews. It looks level from my perspective, Sarah.
Yes, level through this section of the course here. You can see the geese trying to work out what they're going to do here. But we get through both crews unscathed. Just never know what's going to come across your lane here at Henley Regatta, but fortunately the geese survive another day.
We've just seen a shoe being fished out in front of us in our commentary box here, which has slightly distracted us from the geese that was coming across the boats. But as you can see here, coming up to this halfway point, looks like Leander had maybe just set back a little bit from the Brookes crew. Brookes had maybe taken a half a seat or maybe 2 seats across onto the lead as you go past in this wonderful shot here.
Yeah, decisive move there from Brookes in the last 30 strokes or so, really making a move here. And Mo, you've obviously done a lot of 8 racing at the highest level and here. How do you balance sticking to your race plan versus racing the other crew? Because it is a really different mentality to fleet racing where you have 6 boats across the course.
It really is, and at this point you will be trusting in your cox, so William and Jack will have to make a decision at some point as they go down the track, and the crew will have to be bought into whatever he says. So if he tells you to push on, you've got to believe in it as a crew. If 1 or 2 people are not in that push, then you won't get there, and it's really important to not let the 8 break away from you. So yesterday we spoke about being able to visually see perspective. The stroke man might often lose sight of the other boat, and that he has to trust in his own rhythm to make sure he doesn't get his head down, doesn't come despondent at the fact that he can't see the other crew. He has to believe that they're right there next to them. And as you can see here, both of these boats are going great guns at the moment as they go down this course. It looks like a really level race.
Yeah, potentially Brookes just looking a little bit more aggressive with what they're doing. They're really sitting back nicely. I thought early in the race they were perhaps cutting those finishes off, and I thought, oh, how's this going to stack up as the conditions get a bit heavier? But they're really starting to lean into it and working through the back end of the stroke here, but super aggressive in their style.
Yeah, this is where Leander are going to have to be psychologically strong. They're going to have to really stay with this Brookes crew, as the Brookes crew looks like they've just slightly moved over into the middle of the course a little bit, and Leander responding by hopefully trying to take it up in the drive as they're about to come through Remnant, and then the small quiet bit of in between the trees. You can see here it's 3/4 of a length lead there for Brookes. So if Leander to make a mark on this event and get those red boxes, they're going to have to go.
And as they're coming down to the enclosures, it is the Oxford Brookes University A crew that is leading. Jamie Copus in the bow, Jake Wincombe in front of him, Matthew Hayward, Samuel Bannister, James Doran, Samuel Nunn, Evan Olsen, Matthew Rowe and William Denegri in the coxswain seat.
Oh, it looks like they're taking a decisive move as they come through to the enclosures. We can't see the Leander crew that maybe look half a length back, and this Leander crew coached by Matt Beachy will be driving on in their home water. This is like a replay of one of those epic finals that we had a few years ago where this regatta or this event was won by less than a foot, as the Leander are trying to make their mark and come back into this race.
We see a little look across from Tom Ballinger in the bow seat of the Leander Club crew. They know they're coming to the dying stages. Leander starts to lift. They're coming down towards the line.
Oh, what a finish we are here. We've got the best seat in the house, being able to see these two ferocious eights come back onto the finish line. Looks like Leander have stolen half a length back, and it's really going to be close as they come to the line. Looks like Brookes might just have it from this angle.
What a finish. Huge comeback from Leander, but they left their run too late.
That's an impressive race there from the Oxford Brookes boat. They took out that lead 3/4, and that's what they needed. They needed that little bit extra, and it's about the mind games that we spoke about during the race. Through the middle of the course, it's so important to stay in touch with the other crew. But fair play to this Leander crew with some experienced athletes in the bow seat. But it was just run out of track today.
What a finish in the Ladies' Challenge Plate. Oxford Brookes University A with the narrowest of wins over Leander Club. They came home like a steam train, but they couldn't get there in the end.